want you to run them up and down along your skull, up and down a couple times. What you're tracing, you have in your brain a map of your entire body for sensation. Everything that you feel, you actually, it happens. There's a sensory end organ out here from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, inside and out. So there's sensors on your bladder, there's sensors on your stomach, there's sensors on your heart, there's sensors on your lungs, there's sensors all inside and out. But for you to know what's happening on that sensation, it has to land on your brain. Now that's your sensory strip. Now take your fingers and run them back and forth like windshield wipers. There's tissue associated with that sensory strip that allows you to understand what you're feeling. If that's not working, you don't know what you're feeling. Now take a look at the end of this disease, and the sensory processing is so damaged. Where's the wiring? Wow. So what happens with you is you know what's happening all over your body. You know whether you're hungry, you're thirsty, whether you got to pee, you got to poop, whether or not your hip is bothering you, whether what you're feeling is a headache or sinus infection, whether what you're feeling is a heart attack or a sore muscle. You know these kind of things because your brain is processing data at all times. Now what happens as this disease gets worse is I get really mixed up. And sometimes I don't even pay attention to parts of my body because of all the damage. I'm not getting input. Because those parts of my body didn't have a lot of input to start with. And as the disease progresses and I lose more and more awareness, I'm not even aware that things have happened on that part of my body. Now let me tell you where you have the least input. Your back and down the back. On your arms out here, not as much. Where is it really intense? 4 zones. 4 spots, high sensory intensity. So as other parts become less and less processing, these parts become hypersensitive. You ready for the #1 hypersensitive on your body? Lips, tongue, and mouth. Put on an oxygen mask. Go ahead and put it on. This is the most sensitive part of the human body right here. You have the most sensory end organs per square inch anywhere on your body right here. Inside on your lips, right at the tip of your tongue, right around your mouth, right at the tip of your nose right here. All of this is very, very sensitive. How many care activities take place right around here? Let's think of them. What are they? Mouth care, yeah, brushing teeth, dentures in and out. Giving medications, taking pills, eating, drinking, shaving. And this is where the ladies, sweetheart, promise me, if I ever get like Aunt Saint Matilda, what I want you to do, pull those hairs out. I do not want people seeing me with long face hairs right there. You know how Grandma had them? Oh, Lord, it was so awful. So I always want you to take those out, okay? Okay, so you're a good granddaughter. Go ahead and start to pull. I'll knock the shit out of you. Don't you pull my damn hair out. And you're like, but Grandma, you told me to pull it out. No, I never did. What I thought I wanted and what's happening now, 2 different things. This is where you've got to learn 2 things. So what, and let it go. So what, and let it go. This is where what I said I wanted and what I can stand right now might be 2 very different things. Because what I thought I wanted when I had full capacity is very different than what I can put up with right now. I don't want you pulling those hairs out. It hurts. Hurts a lot more than I thought it was going to hurt. Why are you hurting me like this?
I'm sorry that hurt you.
I know. Well, I don't like it. I never thought I'd have a girl treat me like this. Why are you doing this? This is where you're going to need more than talking.
Yeah.
You can feel that it's not working, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, why? Because what we want to do is human beings connect in 3 ways. Okay? We connect through vision, we connect through talking, and we connect through touch. Human beings are aware of others in 3 zones: public space, personal space, intimate space. Public space is where we look at each other, but we're not going to do any more than that. So for you guys, that second row, you're fine with me being out here, aren't you? Yeah. First row, you're a little more nervous. Yeah. Good decision. Here's what happens. As long as in the North American culture, our average for when we start feeling like we move from public to personal space, get these three fingers and go public, personal, intimate. Public, personal, intimate. Public space, we look at each other. Personal space, we talk to each other. Intimate space, we touch. So in our culture, the boundary between what we consider public or shared space and what he starts thinking is his space is about 6 feet out, chest to chest, human bodies. So as long as I'm out here, watch what happens to him as I walk up. That's not what he wants to do. She's saying, stick out his hand and say hi. And he's going, no, I just want to get out of here. Now, what's happening there is I'm moving into his personal space without saying anything, and it's making him incredibly uncomfortable. Because human beings are really not liking people come into their space without permission. And so what happens is if I stop moving right here, because I recognize whose space is this? It's his, and I'm going to go, hey. Do you feel the difference right away? Yeah, what's happening now? You're deciding, do I want you or don't you? And he hasn't really decided. How do I know he hasn't decided? Because he's giving me the visual feedback that's different than what he said. He said, yeah, it's different. His body is still real lean back. His hand is covering his chest, saying, I'd really prefer you don't. And the reason he prefers I don't is what's happened before. What happened before made him nervous, and he's hanging on to that. Even though he doesn't really know what I'm going to do this time, his brain says it could break bad. This could go bad. This could be really ugly. And so what happens is he's already preset to not want me. Here's our big mistake as care people. We try to overcome it. It's okay. We swoop in. When they say, I'm not sure this is a good idea, it'll be fine, sweetheart. We go in there because we're going to help them whether they want it or not. And what ends up happening is they flight, fight, or fright. And we think it's about them. And what you don't realize is they tried to tell you, whoa, 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 slow down. I don't know if I want this or not. And we didn't listen. We didn't look. We didn't pay attention to the cues they were giving us. We need to pay a lot attention of what they're doing. Because they're doing what? The best they can. So if my friend, tell me what your first name is. Bruce. Bruce, come on up here. And you know Bruce is going, oh good, this is going to be great. You're the one, and from the look, you're the one that decided to sit in the front row. Yeah. I knew this was coming. I knew he was thinking that. Okay? So here's my friend Bruce. Now Bruce, I want you to sort of keep that same feel that you had before, okay? So when I come up and I stop here and I go, Bruce, hey. And he's still not sure. Can you tell that he's still not sure? What I need to make myself do is don't break this boundary. It's his space. And what I'm going to do is turn my body sideways. Because when you're front on, you're saying, I want to confront and fight with you. That's the message you're sending with your body. That's what we do. When we come in on somebody, we're... Okay? And I'm going to have you do this with each other just a little bit so you can feel the intensity of it. And if he were to have binocular vision, it would be even worse because there's no out. It's being attacked and you're trapped. You're trapped there and they're trying to get away and they can't. And so they have to fight for their life because there's no way out. This is particularly true for people who are wheelchair bound or bed bound. People who are limited in their mobility. They're scared to move and yet you keep coming. Whoa, 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 please, please, please. And what's our answer? Pry their hands loose. We keep doing things that they're trying to tell us, this is dangerous, please don't do that. And we don't listen. We keep saying, it's okay, sweetheart, just a minute, let go, it's okay, I've got you. Oh, great. I'm feeling real good about that. Okay, so Bruce is nervous. Bruce, hey. Kneel down. Hey. Yeah. Making you a little uncomfortable, huh? Yeah. Can I talk to you? Sure. Can I sit here? Now notice what I'm doing. I'm respecting his space. I'm at the edge of talking space. Every time I talk, notice I'm using a visual cue. I don't just run my mouth. I make sure my visual and my verbal are coming together. Can we talk? Can I sit in the chair? Okay. Hey, I'm Teepa. Now notice, I'm still waiting until he says it's okay. I'm going to turn and sit here. From North Carolina. From
Vancouver.
Yeah. You have some great mountains nearby, huh?
Yep.
And the water? Yeah. You like to be outside? Yeah. You're not liking it in here, huh? Yeah. Hey, Bruce, let's go outside. Come on. Guess what? This is a man who wouldn't let me in his room, and now he's doing what? Going outside with me. Does he need drugs? Yeah, maybe, but that's a different kind. What I want you to really pay attention to, the reason I had success with Bruce is I watched and listened to and paid attention to Bruce. I didn't push harder than Bruce was able to tolerate. Now, did it actually take me a really long time to get Bruce up and going? No, in our mind we think, God, I don't have time for that. What I'm going to tell you is you waste so much time with resistance, refusals, and reapproaches, and the whole reason you have to do it is you push too hard in the first place. And you didn't listen when they said, no. Now with your partner, Suzanne. Okay. 4 parts of your body. I'm going to tell you the 4 parts. We're going to come back to the other things. Sit right there if you would. Okay. Number 1 was what? Lips, tongue, and mouth. Second part of your body with the second most intense part of your body, palms of your hands and your fingertips. Particularly, get these 3 fingers out, these 3. These are called your manipulators. These are the fingers you do the most with. These 2 are not really that skilled, so you don't use them much for skill. You use them for power and grip. These are the 3 you use to do things. Button a button. Go ahead and button a button. Zip a zipper. Take your pen. Oh, which 3 fingers? Oh, figure that out. Isn't that amazing? Remarkable. If you were to use a utensil, like a spoon, same deal. You're going to use these 3. But what these 2 do is provide stability. They give your hand the power, the strength, the flexibility. It allows it to drive a screw in with a screwdriver, to squeeze pliers, to hammer with a hammer. That's where this comes in handy. It's the hold side. This is the skill side. Skill, hold, power. What we want to recognize when somebody has dementia is that this is real sensitive. And so what you're going to start seeing people want to do is explore things. Yeah, you got a hair, look at her. Oh man, look at her, you got that. And what they will start often doing is carrying stuff around in the little finger side. But they're all about, and notice what I'm doing here. I've got it there, and then I do more with it. Yeah, you got it here, look at her. There you got it. Good job. She is getting so good at this. Because what she realized is once I had it here and I wanted to explore it, let me have it. Let it go. It's not something she needs right now. She needs to let go of this because I noticed it. You gotta hit it, gotta let it go back. Yeah. So, fingers. Now, what does this mean? If these are less sensitive than these three, when you have to do blood sugar checks, maybe you should start thinking about using this side rather than these three. Because these three are more sensitive. They have a lot more, ow, 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 ow. And actually, I can move them better too. So what you want to think about, if I had to do a finger check on her, a finger stick on her, or let's say I had to take a blood pressure. If I do this with this hand and I do this with this hand, I could put the cuff on, and if need be, I can do this cuff and I can actually pump out here and I can check her blood pressure. And what I'm actually doing is blocking the elbow, giving her input in her hand, giving her input in her hand over here, letting her hold on to me, and I can take a blood pressure, which is real different than if I'm trying to do this. Where was that real sensitive? Okay, and what we don't realize is we get them all stirred up with trying to do things like squeeze, 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 ow! And if instead we were doing this. Now the third most sensitive part of your body, soles of your feet and your toes, the toes. So guess what sometimes I don't want on? Shoes, and I don't like cold tiles, and I don't like the podiatrist. I'll knock the shit out of him if I get a chance. Because what he's doing is he's messing with a real intense part of my foot. If you want to help a podiatrist do something, what you want to do is actually prop their foot on your foot and push through the sole of the foot. Because if I stabilize here and then somebody were to mess with the toes, it's lost less intense if I'm putting pressure down and through the heel. Come and mess with her toes real quick, somebody. Okay. If I do this, and let me have your other hand. Yeah. Gonna take a sentimental journey. Now, let me take all this away. Now, just do her foot.
Oh, back up.
Okay, so do you see the difference? Two of us, but how we use the two of us. So what I was able to do is put deep pressure and allow her to tolerate, and I had her hand at the same time. So she's going to warn me, that's enough. Notice I am to the side. The reason I want to be to the side, if she kicks, which way is she kicking? To the front. I'm pushing down on the knee, giving her something to push against, and she can tolerate the foot care a lot more. Particularly when I'm doing this and we're singing or we're humming or we're doing something, maybe give her some gum to chew. Why? To occupy this sensory input. I'm giving her more sensation in the key zones because she's having something done she doesn't like. Let's talk about if you had to do the blood stick now. What you could do is I can do this, and I can pump, and somebody could come on this side and draw blood, and she's not nearly going to be as upset about it. And I can actually, if I know it's going to hurt, right before it's going to hurt, I'm going to go, ow, ow, it's okay. Watch how she copied me. There you go. Okay, we're done. We're done. But notice what I'm doing. Down, out, across. I've actually got her arm blocked with my arm, and I'm pushing down and across. I'm giving a lot of input, sensory input to the palms of the hands. This is going to be less sensitive, and if they have to do a sugar check, a blood sugar check, and they're doing it out here, it's not. If they have to clean fingernails because of the stool under the fingernails, if they have to clip, if they have to trim, if they have to do something here, it is much easier to do that if I am here and we are engaged. This is hard. I know. We're almost done. We're almost done. Okay, okay. Yeah, you did it. Oh, you did it. Good job. Good job. All right. Come on, let's get out of here.
Okay.
Okay? So try this handhold. I want you to try this handhold with somebody next to you. And what I want you to do is, this elbow goes behind. Turn toward me.
Ooh, that's good. Wow.
Turn toward me.
Wow. Fantastic.
Okay, now what's happening? Get your elbow behind their elbow. I want you to feel the amazing control you have over their body position. All I have to do is straighten my elbow and I actually turn